This week has been very explosive for the AI world. Almost every big player has released new models or features. We got interesting stuff from Google, DeepSeek, OpenAI, and even Qwen. In this video, we'll talk about this and other AI news of the week. Let's start. The hottest topic of the week is for sure Gemini 2.5 Pro, the new flagship model from Google. Basically, in the past few days, it just came out of nowhere. I mean, we were still waiting for the 2.0 Pro version, instead we got the 2.5 Pro. And this model is already interesting under every aspect. For example, about performance, here we have different benchmarks released by Google. They are about reasoning in general, more specific about science, maths, code generation, and visual reasoning, and other similar topics. As you can see, Gemini 2.5 Pro is performing very well. It is not always the winner, but even when it is not the winner, it is quite close. And it is crazy. It has not already been released through paid APIs, so this is not an official release. It is like a preview, and maybe in the next weeks, this performance will become just better with the official release. So yeah, we can consider this just a preview of performances. Now, more specifically about code generation, Gemini 2.5 Pro is becoming maybe the most important model, because when using an LLM for coding, the raw performance is not just the most important property. There are other important things, for example, the context. And in this case, Gemini 2.5 Pro is unbeatable. I mean, we're talking about a context of more than 1 million tokens, and Google said it will be increased to 2 millions in the future, which is really crazy. If you're working in a small project, or for example, if you're starting a new project through web coding, maybe even a model with a lower context can be okay. For example, Claude 3.7 Sonnet, that performs very well. But when working with large code bases, then having a large context can be a game changer for sure. But when you're working with large code bases, having a context like this of millions of tokens, then in that case, this can be for real a game changer. Now, about its availability, in the first days of its release, it was only accessible from here, from the Google AI Studio, or from some other APIs, for example, from OpenRouter. However, recently, Gemini 2.5 Pro was released also inside the Gemini app. Initially, for the advanced user, here as you can see, we have the 2.5 Pro, but then Google decided to roll out even to the free users. Right now, the only difference between free and advanced user here in the Gemini app is that the advanced ones have also the canvas mods with the 2.5 Pro, and this mod seems to be awesome with this model. Let's do a quick test. So in this case, I'm asking for creating a drawing app like Microsoft Paint as reference. Make sure to enable canvas. Okay, let's go. Let's see what it is capable of doing. As you can see, it is very fast. Not as fast as, for example, the 2.0 Flash version, but compared to other flagship models, it is really fast model. Okay, so this is the first iteration. It has been completed. This is the result. You can draw, adjust the size of the brush and even the color. Yeah, very nice. However, we will make a video specifically on this functionality with Gemini 2.5 Pro. Also, the rollout of this new model is being very awesome even for the Gemini plans. I mean, you can still use the free plan. However, even if you want to get the advanced mods, you will have 1 month for free. And compared to other competitors, this is really awesome. For example, when you use Claude or OpenAI, you don't have the ability to test their services for 1 month for free. Instead, with Gemini, you can. So basically, you can have 1 month of Gemini 2.5 Pro, a flagship model, for free, even with the canvas mode, deep research, and so on. Moving now to DeepSeek, even here we got a model that came out of nowhere. Obviously, I'm talking about DeepSeek V3.1, or better, the official name is V3.0324. Now, according to them, this model received a lot of updates. For example, the reasoning capabilities were improved. Now, it is also better in front-end coding, and maybe most importantly, it is better in engineering tools, which is very important for the agentic use. Now, I don't want to talk too much about this model here, because we already compared it with Gemini in another video. So, if you want to go in depth, you can check it out. However, we can just take a look at some benchmarks. So here, as you can see, there is a comparison between non-reasoning models, or better, models without the thinking mode, because remember that this is the V3, not R1, so it means that this model is not able to handle the thinking mode. However, even without the thinking mode, it is able to handle tasks that require reasoning, and compared to other models, it is performing very well. For example, here we have different benchmarks, and as you can see, the performance of DeepSeek V3.1 are very interesting. Basically, it seems to outperform a lot of other flagship models. The only case when DeepSeek V3.1 is not the winner and the difference is a lot is this one with the MMLU. So we're talking about language understanding, and of course GPT 4.5 is the winner. However, we are talking about two totally different models with different prices and etc. So in my opinion, even here DeepSeek is still the winner for the community. This model is already available here. You just have to disable the deep think in order to use the V3.1. So yeah, and also we have already the full API access. We can get it from OpenRouter or similar providers. Moving on to OpenAI instead, this week GPT-4o received two important updates. The first one is about the improvement of the textual and reasoning capabilities. According to OpenAI, it is now able to understand better if there are multiple requests inside the same prompts, or in general to handle technical tasks, for example coding problems, and also it should now use fewer emojis, which is a good news in my opinion. As usual, this new feature is available first of all for paid users, and then in the next weeks it will be available even for the free ones. And the other update is obviously about 4o image generation. It is an important update, now we'll see more in detail. However, the problem with this is that it has literally flooded the web with Studio Ghibli-style images. I mean, look at this. If you have opened X in the last 7 days, you will have surely seen hundreds or even thousands of Ghibli-style images, and all this is becoming really annoying. There was even a user who developed a Chrome extension to automatically hide all the Ghibli-style images. Look at this. Anyway, apart from the memes or images in the Ghibli-style, 4o image generation is really a very powerful tool, especially if used professionally. In fact, for typographic use or for designing UIs, it seems to be a game changer tool. It is possible to create banners, UI mockups, and much more simply by describing the content and style, or by sketching a drawing by hand, for example. Furthermore, it is also possible to make multiple iterations and request changes, even regarding small details. So under this point of view, this is the first time we see a so detailed and precise model for generating images. And for a professional use, this is very important. And lastly, we got news even from Qwen. More specifically, they have released 3 new models. Let's start with this one. So basically, in the past few days, they introduced the voice and video chat right from inside the Qwen interface. However, the most interesting thing about this is that now they open sourced the model behind this, which is Qwen 2.5 Omni 7 billion. And this is awesome. They also released blog pages and papers describing all the details behind this model. Next, the other model is this one, Qwen 2.5 BL 32 billion instruct. Yeah, the name is always complex. However, this is a middle-range multimodal LLM, and even this one is very, very interesting. Let's take a look at some benchmarks. Basically, as you can see, the new 32 billion model is able to outperform even the old 72 billion model, so the one from the whole generation, which is crazy. I mean, the difference in size is really big, so really impressive. Oh, and even this one was open sourced, of course. And lastly, they have released the QVQ Max, which is a visual reasoning model, so it is able to do reasoning over video files, or even to handle multi-image. For example, you can upload more than one image and ask for comparisons or connections between these images. And also it is able to do math reasoning through quizzes images, for example. So not through text, but through images, which is really interesting. However, everything is already available from the Qwen interface. You have just to open the dropdown and select QVQ Max, then enable the thinking mode, and you are able to upload stuff. And that's it. These were the most interesting AI news for this week. Let us know your thoughts on this in the comments.